I've built the lightest weight and most budget-friendly Livescope setup that I've known or seen out there. In today's video, we're gonna go through exactly how I built this, why I built this, and what this thing is right next to it, which is my normal rig that I've got. So why did I build this? Well, if you didn't know already, I'm a die-hard ice fisherman. And one of the pain points that I have with Livescope when ice fishing is how heavy these units are. This unit right here, this is my typical unit that I use out on the ice. I've got an 8610, so this is a 10-inch screen, the 8600 GPS map series from Garmin. It's a very heavy screen. It's got the big black box on the back of it. We've got, of course, our longer pole. This is a Summit fishing pole. I've got a Livescope transducer, of course, here. Normally I'd have a tripod on here, but I actually have this ready for the boat already this year. I've got the Summit HD shuttle. This thing is awesome. I've got a screen recorder on here. I've got the light. I got a 48 amp hour amped outdoors battery inside of this thing. This is a beast. I absolutely love this. If there was one setup that I was gonna use on the ice, it would be this guy. However, this really stinks when you're trying to hole hop around on the ice, when you're trying to be portable out there. If you don't have a machine that you're gonna be moving around from spot to spot, this thing is heavy. I needed a solution for when I'm hole hopping around. I'm chasing those crappie, I'm chasing those schools of fish. I wanna be really lightweight. I built this guy. This thing, hauling around with one arm when you're out on the ice, nope, not fun when you got all your other gear. This thing right here, super lightweight, easy to lift, move around. You actually feel like you're moving around like one of the old school Vexilars or a Markham or something. It doesn't feel like you've got a Livescope setup. So I wanted this thing for one specific purpose only. I'm gonna chase the fish, I'm gonna hop around. I don't care about the highest resolution screen or the biggest screen. I'm not worried about the longest battery life. This thing's got a lot of battery life in it, but I'm not worried about the longest out there. I'm worried about compact, lightweight, and something that I can move around, grab, run around really easy. However, the extra benefit to that is this is actually, I believe, the cheapest option that you have to build a Livescope setup. Now, would I recommend this for somebody that they wanted one single Livescope setup and this was gonna be it and they wanted to use it year round out on their boat, ice fishing and permanent shacks? No, actually I wouldn't. I'd actually upgrade the screen size on it. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. Let me tell you what we got here. Real quick before we go any further, I am not sponsored by or paid by any of these brands. This is a true unbiased review, like all the fishing gear videos on my channel. I don't get bought out. I don't get sponsored by these brands. I have a lot of good relationships with these companies that sometimes send me some product to try out, sometimes give me some early access to this stuff. But all of this stuff, I can say what I want. I can be transparent. That's why what you're gonna see here is a smorgasbord of a bunch of different things to build the lightest, the cheapest bundle that I could find. First, what we've got is an ECHOMAP 73 screen. This guy right here has a Livescope port on the back of it, and it's the smallest screen that they have that can support this, and the lightest weight one that's out there. So this is our Livescope pole. This is a Summit fishing pole. It does extend out, so you can extend it all the way down to, I think this one's like 5 or 6 feet. It's the shortest pole that they have, lightest weight pole that I could find on the market. This is the pole that I use for ultra heavy duty as well. I just use the longer one on my other setup. But when I'm hopping around, I usually don't have to deal with that super long pole because I'm not going through the floor of a permanent house or anything like that. I've got the tripod mount here. This is just the Summit one. There's another brand that I like as well that I actually use on the other one that I'll link down below in terms of the tripod setup. And then of course, your directional top piece here. Both of these are Summit. They sell this as a kit. I'll link it down below. On this setup, you're gonna see, that's right, this is an LVS 32. The LVS 32 is smaller and lighter and cheaper than the LVS 34. The difference in quality between the LVS 32 and 34 is noticeable. I definitely like the LVS 34, the Livescope Plus, better than the original Livescope transducer, the 32, but this thing is great. The other benefit of getting the LVS 32 over the 34, the Livescope Plus, is that this fits in a 6-inch hole. The LVS 34 will not fit in a 6-inch hole. This is the mount that you can actually put into perspective mode, forward or down. So this thing is great. So what is it sitting on? That's right, this is a blue Gens box. This is what you buy when you get a cheap Vexilar and FL8. They sell these by themselves. So I bought one of these because it is the lightest shuttle I've been able to find on the market. You may be able to home make one, but it's not gonna be as nice as this in terms of the heavy duty handle. This thing has been tested by years and years of use of a lot of anglers. There's so many people that still have these. In fact, if you're watching this video, drop in the comments down below if you have or have used a fish finder with this shuttle on it right here. These things are awesome. So what I did is I just did the gimbal mount on the front for the screen. So it's just mounted, screwed right down in, and it fits perfectly. I put it as far front as I could so that I would have the best balance possible. It's still a little bit back heavy, but you want to have that screen as far forward as that you can get it. On the back, what I did here, yes, this is the black box, the GLS-10. This is required for you to use Livescope unless you're going to use the LVS-12, which I don't recommend. It's a lot narrower beam angle. You're not going to be happy with it. So the LVS-32, you still need this black box. It's the same one that you get with the Livescope Plus as well. And what I had to do, because you can see the width of the blue box is not quite wide enough for the whole pattern on this black box. And so what I needed to do is, this is just a composite board that I screwed into the back of the Gens box and into GLS-10 so that it's secure and can hold. The top ones I do not have screwed in because I could only screw in the bottom screws because of this piece not being super tall, which I didn't want it super tall because I wanted to, of course, cut weight, and I wanted it to be low enough where cords wouldn't rub against that surface. And so I zip tied the top to the handle. So the top zip tied, the bottom screwed. This thing's bulletproof. I could hold this whole thing just by the black box and have no problem at all. From there, cord management, I've got the Livescope cable, transducer cable wrapped around the handle here. It works great. I can still grip the handle, and then it goes right into the back of the unit on the screen. This guy right here, all you got to do is you can lay it actually right behind the screen. You can still pick it up and hold it with one hand. Super lightweight. We'll get a weight here in just a second and compare it to this beast mode here. So you got one cord, that's your transducer cord. You've got one cord that's going to the back of the screen, and you've got one cord going to power. How am I powering this? That's right, inside of here, I know you can't see it, it's an Amped Outdoors 6 amp hour battery. It's a Life PO4 battery. Based off of my calculations, I can get about 5 to 6 hours of use of this thing out on the ice, which is more than enough. Amped Outdoors, I believe, makes a 7.5 amp hour now, which I would recommend. It will still fit right in here in the same case. So I'll link the battery down below if you want to check it out. And I do have a promo code down there with Amped Outdoors. I know the owner really well. So he has hooked you guys up with a 10% discount with the promo code down in the description. It's off anything on their website. So if you want to get a bigger battery for a bigger shuttle or something like that, at least benefit yourselves and get that. Hopefully I save you a couple bucks. I also did use the wiring harness. I'll link it down below as well. That wiring harness makes everything really easy to wire. Basically plug and play, just a couple of wires you've got to splice. That's it. So it's super lightweight. There's nothing else to it. There's nothing else to it. And so what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna get a weight on this. We're gonna grab this beast mode, which is my normal one, and we're gonna weigh the difference between these two. All right, so I don't know if you can see this, but this is a Weight Max scale. This thing is really accurate. It's a male scale. I've got it tared out at 0 pounds, 0 ounces right now. We're gonna start with this guy, and we're gonna set it on there. Beeping, meaning it's locked in, and we've got 30 pounds, 1.6 ounces is what we're looking at here. Boom, 0 pounds, 0 ounces. Let's move this to the side. Take a guess down below, pause the video. How much do you think this weighs? All right, let's go ahead. Let's make sure this is on here. We don't wanna cheat the system by having it sitting on the table. And we are at 15 pounds, 2 ounces. 15 pounds, 2.0 ounces. This literally weighs half as much. I'll put on the screen here how much a Vexilar FLX 30 weighs. This thing is literally about the same weight as some of those things that are out there, which is crazy for a Livescope setup. So again, who do I recommend this for? Who do I not recommend this for? And what would I do if I don't recommend it? If you wanted to get a really compact, portable, lightweight, cheap option for your Livescope build? Well, this is what I would say. First, this is perfect for somebody that wants a lightweight setup to run around out on the ice, or if you're gonna be hopping from boat to boat, this is great. If you're not worried about having a super small screen, this is perfect. This works perfect for my needs. If you're the type of person that wants to use it year round and you want to have a little bit better, actually a lot better experience, I would recommend, instead of using the Garmin ECHOMAP 73, I would go to the Garmin ECHOMAP 93. That gets you from a 7-inch diagonal to a 9-inch diagonal. That makes a world of difference. That's really all that you need for something like this. I would recommend still, if you're looking for budget friendly, stick with the LVS 32. There's nothing wrong with it. And you've got some good deals that are going on out there to get these at a pretty dang good price. So I would recommend that. In terms of the battery, I've got the 6 amp hour from Amped Outdoors. They've got the 7.5 amp hour. I mean, they're so cheap. They're definitely under $100. I don't know the exact price off the top of my head, 60, 70 bucks, plus you get 10% off with the code that I have down in the description. I would definitely at least pick up that 7.5 amp hour. But if you want to get a full day or more out of it, upgrade that thing to a larger size battery. There's a lot of them on their website. I'll maybe link one down below that I'd recommend if you want to go one size up. Just make sure the dimensions of it are going to fit if you use this shuttle or another shuttle. Make sure that you check that. I hope this video helped you out. Let me know what your thoughts are about this build and the weight of it. Weigh your setup if you have a Livescope portable shuttle setup. Let me know down in the comments how much yours weighs. If you have a lighter version, let me know what that is. I'd love to see what your build ideas are. I'm always looking for a lighter weight option in order to use Livescope out on the ice. If this video helped you out, hit that like button down below. And if you want to check out more videos like this on the channel, check out this playlist on the screen. And until next time, take it easy.